There are a lot of gold stacking videos out there. People talk about stacking gold coins, gold bars, and many, many other objects. Well, guys, this isn't exactly it. In this video, I'm going to give you my opinion on some pros and some cons about stacking gold. A lot of people sit there and they say, why do you stack it? You can't take it with you. You know, you could say they're right. There's no doubt about it. I can't take it with me. However, if I don't use it, I'm creating a generational wealth that'll be good for my kids, my grandkids, if I get enough of it. And if I don't, I'm good with that too. But my number one, I guess you could say, pro about stacking gold is it acts sort of as a savings account. That's right, a savings account. You're like, how does it act as a savings account? Well, if I buy gold, I won't spend the money on something else. So, therefore, I have the money if unexpected expense comes up, I become unemployed. And for those of you that know me, last year, or I guess you could say a couple months ago, which happened to be last year, I needed a car. What did I do? I did what every other gold stacker would do. I said, I'm not paying no 8% interest. So I sold some gold and I got a brand new car. I mean, not everybody can do that. They haven't stacked enough. But if you stack slowly, I mean, even look at this 10th ounces. There's, a roll of 10th ounces here, which is like 50 pieces. If you stack one of those every time you think about it and have the money to do it, you can slowly build up. Now, 10th ounces, some people say, oh, you don't get extra premium for tenths. But guys, I pay what my wholesalers pay for these. So if they'll pay me 2.25, I'll pay 2.25. If they'll pay me 250, I'll pay 250. Whatever they happen to be paying, that's what I pay for the 10th ounces. So gold closed out the year, I think it was about 2060, so $2,060, give or take a few bucks. So yeah, there's that. But as I said, a good form of saving your money. And the number two thing is kind of goes with the number one. It's a hedge against inflation. That's right. I mean, gold's going to go up, gold's going to go down. Back in 2003, it was around $250 for 1 ounce. That's right, just 1 ounce of gold. And look at it now. It's just under 10 times. That is a lot. So what I could buy in 2001 with an ounce of gold, I can surely buy today with an ounce of gold. So that hedged my, I guess you could say, investment. Now, investment, guess you could say gold is not really an investment per se at making money, but it does preserve your wealth against inflation. My number three is, I guess you could say it's pretty simple. It's a good way to keep assets and, keep out of the banking system. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't like everybody knowing every single thing I do. Now, granted, guys, you do have to report your profits on this stuff. But, you can do what you want as far as buying and selling more freely. You don't have to, like with stocks, you have to sit there and wait, a couple days for it to clear. With real estate, you have to sit there and wait, sometimes a couple months, to sell the property. So those, I guess you could say, my three pros are it's similar to a savings account, it's a hedge against inflation, and it's a good way to keep out of the banking system. You're like, Keith, you mentioned something about cons. That's right, I did. I mentioned something about cons. I got a couple of those here too. My first one, and this is probably gonna steer everybody away. Well, gold's heavy. Listen to this. Look at that. Wow. This is probably going to steer everybody away. It's expensive. That is my number one con. Gold is expensive. I wish it wasn't so expensive, but I do think it's worth every penny. It's expensive to buy 1 ounce of gold. So what you can do to make it less expensive on you on a single purchase is just buy a 10th. You're going to pay a higher premium. However, you are going to be able to afford a 10th if possible. If it's in your budget, you can afford a 10th a lot easier than you can afford a 1-ounce coin. So my number one con is it's expensive. My number two con is it doesn't pay a dividend like equities in or AKA the stock market. There's no dividend to be paid. So all it does is preserve your money. Like with a stock, I can sit there, I can buy a stock, it gives me a 5% dividend. So after 1 year, I have 1.05, 1 and 1/20th or 1.05 shares of a stock. Whereas after a year, I buy an ounce of gold, and after a year, I still have an ounce of gold. So it doesn't increase my holdings. However, as I said, jumping back to the pros, hedge against inflation, it works. So I guess you could say my cons are it's expensive and it doesn't pay a dividend. So if you think those are good pros and good cons, let me know in the comments below. Right down there in the comments, give me a comment. And please give me a like. We need more likes on this channel. So guys, if you could help me out, I'd really appreciate it. So until next time, thanks for watching.